What's up, guys? Lance, the obscure movie guy, coming to you once again, and going to come at you with three more things to watch. We're going to do romantic comedies today for Valentine's Day, even though I'm a few days behind. The world has been basically, well, the country's been locked down in a massive snowstorm that has gone all the way from Texas to the Northeast, Maryland, New Jersey, Pennsylvania area. So if you're snowed in, or most of you don't have power if you're in Texas, so... But once you get power back, maybe you could check out some of these titles for Valentine's Day if you didn't get to do anything with your loved ones. I know me and my wife didn't get to celebrate ours the way that we wanted to. She was a little ill, and plus the Daytona 500 was on, so, you know, what are you going to do? But we're going to do romantic comedies today. Some of them you may have seen, some of them may not. But the first one we're going to talk about is... 2003's A Guy Thing, starring Jason Lee, Julia Stiles, and Selma Blair. Basically, Jason Lee is getting married and wakes up after his bachelor party with Julia Stiles in his bed. And though he did not cheat, he thinks that he did, so he goes on about this quest to hide the fact that he cheated on his fiance, even though he really didn't. And of course, hilarity ensues, and it's pretty typical romantic comedy. Not a lot of love affair with the critics or the fans. I didn't think it was that bad of a movie. Got a great cast in it. You got those three, plus Thomas Lennon was in it. Lachlan Monroe, which... I'm going to go over Lachlan Monroe in another video because he's one of those actors that you see a lot. You have no idea what his name is. But if you saw him, you would know him. And then there's James Brolin's in it. He plays the father. That's Josh Brolin's father. So, not a bad flick. You know, it's worth 90 minutes. Why not? You know, it's not the most ridiculous thing in the world. Next thing we're going to talk about is, this one's a little bit off the cuff, but I really enjoyed this movie. 2005's Dirty Love, starring and written by Jenny McCarthy. Directed by her, at the time, husband, John Asher. And really a funny movie in my opinion. It did not do well at the theaters. It does not do well with a lot of the fans. It did not do well with the critics. But, you know, back in the late 90s, early 2000s, Jenny McCarthy was really, in my opinion, a comedic genius. She was obviously known for being, you know, Playboy, doing Singled Out. She also had a short-lived sketch comedy show on MTV, The Jenny McCarthy Show, which was hilarious. And she had written this herself. And the comedy in it, I mean, it's typical girl humor. It's a little crude, period jokes, you know, a lot of women's stuff. But I mean, it's a lot of overacting too. But I think that's part of the fun of the movie, is how ridiculously Jenny McCarthy is in the movie in and of itself. You know, she did great in Basketball. She's been in a couple other things that I think she's pretty funny in. So, but it stars Jenny McCarthy, Carmen Electra, who plays a ridiculous character as well, and Eddie K. Thomas, who is from the American Pie series. He's the one that has sex with Stifler's mom, so good on him. But typical romantic comedy. You know, girl falls in love with the wrong guy. Eddie K. plays the friend that loves her, and she never sees him. So, you know, it's one of those deals. Pretty typical. The base of the storyline is pretty typical, but the comedy is really where it shines, I think, in my opinion, and it's pretty freaking funny, so go on her for that. And then the last one I want to talk about is 2013's The Right Kind of Wrong, starring Ryan Kwantan, who is best known for being in True Blood. He's Sookie Stackhouse's brother in the show, True Blood, but he hasn't really done a whole lot. He's not really recognized a whole lot beyond True Blood. He has done other things. He's done a few episodes of television stuff. He was on New Girl. He did this movie. There's a couple other things he was in, but nothing really major. Nothing that really has a whole lot of name recognition, which is too bad. He's from Australia. He's a really good actor, but really hasn't been able to pick up on a whole lot of stuff after True Blood, which is too bad. But this movie was actually really, really funny. It was really well written. You know, it's got a lot of praise. It's got a little bit of a following, you know, for people that do, you know, like romantic comedies. But it's definitely worth the watch. It's not your typical romantic comedy. And this one's kind of like a reversal. You know, this is the guy falls in love with the girl who's getting married, and, you know, turns out later on, I mean, I guess it is kind of typical. Turns out she finds out the husband that she married is a dick. You know, big surprise there. But still a pretty good story. He goes above and beyond to try and win this girl's heart in typical fashion. Tries to learn how to hang glide and juggles plates, but still really well done. I mean, it's got a halfway decent cast in it. Catherine O'Hara's in it. Moira from Schitt's Creek. Will Sasso, who I've mentioned in a couple other things as well. And Ryan McCartland. I don't know. He's the Attorney General in LA's Finest, which was on Fox. Which was also... That actually wasn't even a Fox show, but that's a different story for a different day. But you'd recognize him if you saw him. But he's the one that plays the dick husband, surprise. But still a really good movie. That one's probably the best out of these three, for sure. I would definitely... If you're going to watch one of those three, I would definitely watch that one. So, that one's worth a watch. You can, even if you're a guy, you can sit down and watch these. They're pretty funny. So, but short video, nothing major. Been kind of wrapped up with work and life with everything going on here during this massive winter storm. So, I got more videos coming your way. I've been working really hard behind the scenes, trying to come up with some stuff. I've been watching a lot of movies, no surprise there. So, and I got a lot of requests. A lot of people want me to watch some movies. Somebody wants me to do one on horror films. Somebody wants me to watch The Vanished. I watched Life Force for a buddy of mine. So, you got something out there you think I should check out, an obscure title that I've never seen or never heard of, I'll definitely check it out, talk about it. Most of them I probably have heard of. Some of them I've probably seen. So, but guys, like, subscribe, and comment to the YouTube channel. Please share. And as always, stop watching the news, man. Stop watching the news. It's all just bullshit. We're all being played. Let's just watch some movies and have a good time and talk about some dumb shit like A Dirty Love or The Wrong Kind of Right or any of the other titles that I've mentioned before. So let me know what you guys think in the comments below, and I'll see you in the next video.